Princess Leonor bids farewell to the Elcano upon arrival in Marín. The ocean is vast, eternal, and unchanging. It has carried Spain's stories for centuries. From the age of explorers to the strength of a modern navy, the sea is both Spain's pride and its destiny. And yet, on one quiet morning in Marín, the sea carried something even greater. Not a fleet, not a warship, not a voyage of conquest. But a young princess, Spain's future queen, returning from a journey that tested her spirit, her resilience, and her place in history. Princess Leonor's farewell to the training ship Juan Sebastián de Elcano was expected to be ceremonial. A gesture of tradition. But what unfolded left the entire nation in stunned silence. Because this was not just a goodbye. It was the revelation of a leader in the making. She did not step off the ship as a mere cadet completing her training. She stepped off as a woman who has already learned that leadership is born not in palaces, but in sacrifice, in discipline, and in the quiet strength to endure. But what exactly happened aboard the Elcano that made this farewell so extraordinary? Why did Spain's people, hardened by history, feel such a surge of pride and emotion at the sight of their princess saying goodbye to a ship? And most importantly, how does this moment foreshadow the kind of Queen Leonor will one day become? To understand, we must go back to the very beginning of her voyage. The Elcano is no ordinary vessel. Named after Juan Sebastián de Elcano, the navigator who completed Magellan's circumnavigation of the globe, it is a ship of history, of endurance, of Spain's unbreakable bond with the seas. For decades, it has trained cadets, shaping them into leaders, teaching them lessons that cannot be learned in classrooms or palaces. And it was here that Leonor, the heir to Spain's throne, found herself tested. The voyage was grueling. Early mornings, long shifts, physical labor under the blazing sun and the freezing wind. Leonor was not shielded. She was not given royal privilege. She slept in the same quarters, ate the same rations, faced the same hardships as her fellow cadets. And yet, not only did she endure, she thrived. Her fellow sailors recall moments when she lifted morale during storms, when she joined in the toughest tasks, when she insisted on carrying her own weight. They describe a princess who did not hide behind titles, but stepped forward as one of them. And so, when the Elcano finally reached Marín, the moment of farewell carried the weight of every challenge overcome, every lesson learned, every bond forged at sea. Leonor's eyes lingered on the ship, not as a princess gazing at a royal symbol, but as a young woman saying goodbye to a chapter of her life that had changed her forever. The applause that broke out on the docks was not only for her. It was for what she represented: duty embraced, hardship endured, a monarchy grounded in service rather than privilege. But here lies the deeper question: why does this matter so much to Spain now? Because Spain is a nation in transition. The monarchy, once unquestioned, now stands under scrutiny. The people demand relevance, empathy, and proof that their leaders understand them. And in Leonor, they saw something rare: a royal who is willing to work, to sacrifice, to sweat, to learn. In her farewell to the Elcano, they saw their own daughters, their own sons, striving for a better future. This moment also carried echoes of her parents. King Felipe once trained as a naval cadet, enduring his own trials at sea. Queen Letizia, though from a civilian background, has always emphasized service, humanity, and modernity in the monarchy. In Leonor's voyage, the legacy of both parents merged: discipline from her father, empathy from her mother. But this farewell was not only about family or tradition. It was about the future. What kind of queen will Leonor be? If this moment is any indication, she will be one who leads not from a throne above her people, but from within their struggles. One who understands hardship, who respects discipline, who knows what it means to say farewell not only to a ship, but to childhood itself. As Leonor turned one last time to look at the Elcano, witnesses said her eyes glistened with tears. Not of weakness, but of gratitude. Gratitude for the lessons of the sea, for the friendships of her fellow cadets, for the strength she had discovered within herself. And in that moment, Spain realized, their future queen is readying herself not only to reign, but to serve. But the story does not end here. Every farewell is also a beginning. As Leonor steps forward into new roles, new challenges await her. The crown is heavy. The expectations are immense. And yet, with each test she passes, with each symbol she honors, the Spanish people grow more certain that she will rise to the task. So, what comes next? Will her naval training influence her leadership style? Will the lessons of the Elcano guide her decisions in times of crisis? And how will Spain respond as it sees its future queen grow, not behind palace walls, but in the open, through shared sacrifice and experience? These are the questions that keep the world watching. Because the farewell in Marín was not only a royal gesture. It was history unfolding. It was the story of a nation and its future monarch bound together, not by privilege, but by promise. And so, as the ship rests in harbor and the sea calms after the journey, Spain carries forward something greater than tradition. It carries hope. The hope that its monarchy is not only surviving, but evolving. That its future queen is not only learning, but leading. Princess Leonor's farewell to the Elcano was more than a goodbye. It was a vow, to her people, to her nation, to herself. A vow that she will carry the lessons of the sea into the destiny of the crown. And Spain, watching from the docks of Marín, believed her.